Welcome to another exciting episode of Crypto plus Passports equals freedom. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Also, leave a comment and share this video to help us attack the YouTube algorithm and grow the channel. And with that, let's get into today's topic. Today, we will be discussing this critical mistake is why you are broke and alone. And gentlemen, we're going to have a deep discussion about this because I can speak to it personally. I know what it is like to be at this point in your life. And I can go back to a few years ago where when I was in debt, I was dealing with a bad relationship and it felt like the walls were closing in on me and the world was crashing around me. I remember a time, gentlemen, when I was in debt. I had to deal with overdraft fees. I had overdue bills. I was depending on other people for my salary, and I completely had no ambition. I remember the collection calls, the collection letters. I remember the calls from the bank letting me know that my bank account was overdrawn and they were going to charge me these excess fees because I could not pay my bills. I remember the overdue electricity bills, the gas bills, water bills, all of these things, and even the fact that I had to depend on someone else for my daily bread. And gentlemen, this basically led me to having no ambition. I was on this rat race. I was constantly just living just to get up and go to work and then come back home. And I would be completely tired. I wouldn't be wanting to do anything but sit in front of the television. I remember those days. So I'm talking from experience when I'm talking about this. But gentlemen, that also bled into my relationships. It also bled into my dating life, and it pretty much ended the same way my financial life was ending. It ended in disaster. I remember during that time I was dealing with a young lady, and of course we began to drift apart. And ultimately, I discovered that she was seeking comfort in the arms of another man. That's right, she cheated on me. And I remember that time when I found out and I discovered her infidelity. Gentlemen, I was hurt. I was angry. I was mad. I wanted to flip over tables. I remember cursing and using all kinds of language and calling her names. And I was completely angry with her. I was disgusted. I was completely angry. And gentlemen, I blamed her for everything that was happening to me, the world coming apart, my world coming undone, all of these stresses, all of these overdue bills. I blamed her for all of it, gentlemen. But here's the thing. In the end, I had to go into the mirror and I had to have a conversation with myself. This is something that my father, God rest his soul, taught me a long time ago. At the end of the day, with all of the horrible things that were happening to me, I had to go into the mirror and I had to have a conversation with the person that was in the mirror. And keep in mind, gentlemen, I blamed her. But when I had that conversation in the mirror, I had to point the finger at myself. It wasn't her that I was blaming. I was just angry because she pushed a door open that I didn't want to walk through. She forced me to look at the world in reality, and I wanted to blame her because I was mad because I didn't want to face the truth. And the reality was, gentlemen, she had never promised me anything. She had never promised to be anything to me. She never promised to give me anything. She never promised to be loyal to me. And that was the reality, gentlemen. And I had to accept it. But I noticed that my problems with my finances and my problems with women, they were working together, right? And the reality is I wanted her to be what I wanted her to be. But at the end, I had to accept that the world that I was living in was created by me. So what did I do wrong? Why was I experiencing this serious financial debt? Why was I experiencing relationship issues? What did I do wrong? Gentlemen, I made the same mistake that many of you are making right now at this very moment. A lot of you are experiencing what I just described, and it is because you are making the same mistake that I made those years ago. You're doing it right now, and we're going to talk about it because I'm going to help you get out of it, right? So what was the mistake? What did I do wrong, gentlemen? I was emotional. I was emotional about women, and I was emotional about money, and I ultimately lost them both. Let me say that again, gentlemen. I was emotional about women, and I was emotional about money, and I ultimately lost them both. So let's go ahead and delve deep. Gentlemen, I was emotional about money, so I failed to invest. I failed to invest in crypto early. I should have been one of the people buying Bitcoin when it was just 1 cent, but I was emotional about money, so I missed the Bitcoin run. I also didn't invest in gold and silver. I didn't invest in the market as well. Why? Because I was incredibly emotional about money. If it didn't yield results immediately, I gave up. I did not have the money to waste time because I felt like, listen, I got to pay my rent. I got to pay my bills. I got to pay all of these different things. So I would not take the time to at least put some money to the side to invest in these things, right? So what ultimately happened, guys? I never moved financially. I was always behind the 8 ball. I was scared. I always thought, what if I lose my money? So it never grew, and I was always poor. Keeping in that mindset, I was also emotional about relationships. What if she cheats? What's in her phone? What is she doing on social media? Right? I wanted her to be a certain way. I wanted her to behave a certain way. I wanted to place restrictions on her. I was emotionally invested, and eventually I lost women. So, what am I saying to you? I'm saying if you focus on women and you are not focused on you, if you are not focused on your finances, if you are not focused on building, if your day is consumed by chasing women and being afraid of investing, basically your mindset is going to keep you stagnant. It's going to keep you afraid, and you will never move, and ultimately nothing will ever happen. All your relationships will end in failure, and this cycle will keep going around and around and around. Now, gentlemen, I'm not telling you to start doing these things so you can chase women, because that is not what I'm talking about. I am telling you to keep your focus on your business, focus on investing, focus on building yourself, focus on your goals. And what I'm saying with that is, if you continue to do those things, the ladies will be attracted to you. If you are focused on them, they will definitely not be focused on you. If you're focused on your money, your purpose, and your passion, they will come. They will be attracted to you as if you were a magnet. So these are the things that I had to learn. And gentlemen, it wasn't until I began to work out, it wasn't until I started to invest in crypto and invest in stocks and not invest in relationships, that my life got 1,000 times better. So to summarize, gentlemen, if you are afraid to take risk, or if you are emotional about money, you're not investing, and you're not looking to the future, you're definitely going to have a difficult time in finances, which will ultimately mean that you're going to have difficulty in relationships and situationships. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. I can tell you that you definitely need to seek the consultation of a financial advisor and a tax professional. Do your due diligence and do your own research before you invest. But I promise you, gentlemen, if you do those things and you do invest and you don't get emotional about your money and you don't get emotional about women, I promise you, you will be on the winning team. And with that said, that's going to be the end of the video. Gentlemen, do you agree with what I just said? Let me know in the comments. If you disagree, let me know that as well. Thank you for watching another exciting episode of Crypto plus Passport equals freedom. Hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, take care, gentlemen.